podcast.
Donttap podcast.
You do the process, the tape, the study, the narrative, the script.
A little bit of a downfall from a champ.
When we're looking at value on the lines,
That definitely, I think, in some of the handicappers I talked to, has influenced the gambling line.
Appreciate that. I'm sorry what I'm gonna have to do to you in this little matchup we got.
Thank you. I was going to say, enough niceties. Let's dig in.
He can pressure in the first, he can pressure in the second, and pressure in the third.
I'm Gentleman Josh Hill. I'm Aaron Jeffrey.
I'm Johnson.
I'm Mike Malott.
I'm Ruffian Stock.
Tune in to Donttap.
Donttap.
Donttap podcast.
Donttap
Podcast.
I'm Jones. Follow me on Twitter.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.
The Don't Tap Prop Report with your host, Callum McGregor. Let's dive right into round one.
Okay, so for round number one, I'm going to bring you a spot that I feel pretty confident in. This was a parlay piece for me, but now one half of the parlay piece has fallen off. But let's take a look at this fight. Joe Anderson Brito against Pat Sabatini. I think Love's coming in now on Pat Sabatini. There's a lot of recency bias based on the grappling. I think the dominance in his last fight is not something that you would see with the Joe Anderson Brito. Although we have seen, Pierce take him down and sort of handle him. We'll get into it, but let's take a look. So we got Joe Anderson Brito, 18-4-1, coming against Pat Sabatini, 19-5-0. Roughly about the same height. Pat Sabatini's got a little bit of height on him. Brito's got 2 inches of reach advantage, and Sabatini's just a little bit older. So roughly these guys are canceling each other out when it comes to that. When it comes to the strikes, Sabatini wants to get you to the ground. There's no question about that. His output, 1.94 strikes landed per minute, and he absorbs about 1.47. So it is what it is, but it's just that if he gets touched, is he going to be able to handle it, or is he going to crumple up and fall back into the cage and end up in a situation where he ends up tapping out to his strike? I could see it. Or getting knocked out. I could see multiple different ways. Regardless, what we're looking at is, I know a lot of people see that Brito could get subbed and then he could get taken down, and Sabatini's level of jiu-jitsu is there. So I don't hate if you want to look at this fight from the violence standpoint. But as far as the striking standpoint, I mean, Brito's got him landed. He's landing about 3 strikes landed per minute, and Sabatini, like I said, is landing 1.94. So although he's not landing much more, the strikes that he's landing are obviously a lot more impactful, a lot more of a problem. If you look at Pat Sabatini, though, he is landing a lot more takedowns. And the only thing I'm worried about here is that I don't want to see Brito shoot a takedown. I don't want to see this happen in any – I don't think he needs to. I don't think he's going to feel forced to by the striking of Sabatini on the feet. So I don't want to see him shoot. I want to see him, and I know that Sabatini's going to go for takedowns. But the one mistaken mental error here would be a shot for some reason by Joe Anderson Brito when he gets guillotined, or his back gets taken, whatever the hell it might be. He needs to keep it on the feet. That's it. That's where it's going to go. Brito, let's take a look at his KOs. So Weston Wilson, first round. Andre Fili, first round. Lucas Alexander, first round. Chepe Mariscal, first round. Leonardo Compri, first round. Wanderlei Jr., first round. Henrik Gomez, first round. Marcio de Oliveira, first round. Rogerio Furtado, first round. Julio Bueno dos Santos, first round. This guy gets to work early, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen early. But then let's take a look at, he has 2 in the second round finishes recently against Jack Shore and Jonathan Pierce. So this would sort of lead you to, okay, maybe at the level he's going to go over and breach over. But there's so many fights for him inside the distance in the first round, it just leads me to a couple different plays. We have Brito round 1. This was a little bit earlier in the week. The line may have shifted a little bit, but plus 450. Brito round 2, plus 350. I like Brito round 1 and 2 as a potential play as well, too. But even if a fight ends inside the distance, it may be a little bit juicier now, but minus 160, I don't hate that play, because I think that if Sabatini wins, I think he actually could get him out of there on the ground. I don't think it would be a dominant decision. I think it would be a late submission by Sabatini, if anything. I honestly think, though, it's going to be a Brito rounds 1 or 2. I like Brito to get the KO. Whatever way you want to look at it, man. I'm just thinking that Brito gets this done. I think he's the spot here. I think Sabatini's not going to be able to handle his pressure. not going to be able to handle his striking. And I think that Brito only needs to get up once. That's it. He only needs to get up once. Once he gets up, it's a wrap. So my official play on that one, you can touch. Fight ends inside the distance at -160, but I would look at Joe Anderson Brito rounds 1 and 2. Okay, without further ado, we'll go to round number 2. So for the next spot I want to look at, this is a auto bet for me. When it's north of +400, this is a play for me. So, but I had to find a way on this one because I felt like a lot of people are heavy on Brad Tavares this week by decision, and I get it. He is a decision guy. He's a guy that's going to stay on the outside. I'll get into the numbers in a second, but the reality of the fact is, I think that the decision by Tavares is a real thing. But there's way too much value on Gerald Meerschaert again. He's a big dog again, and the reality, like if we see where Gerald Meerschaert his strength is, he's going to be able to get a sort of maybe a little bit more aged, worn down Tavares. I think Tavares is starting to wear down over the years. He's had a lot of fights in the UFC at the highest level, man. And so I just think that there's a lot of value in the submission. But I don't hate sort of trying to find an angle on this to keep yourself safe. So if we want to play Meerschaert by submission, I got that at +440. It's probably sitting, in and around there. If you can get it north of +400, there's value on Gerald Meerschaert by submission. But I don't hate you looking at Brad Tavares potentially pushing this over, potentially, winning a decision, or even Meerschaert winning a decision. That could happen too. But Tavares could sort of keep it on the outside and really make this work for him. So we could look at an over or fight goes the distance again. So I actually hit fight goes the distance. The line may have moved a little bit, but I hit fight goes the distance at -154. Smash the shit out of that. And then what's going to happen is if that Meerschaert sprinkle lands, then so be it. I did very well with the sprinkle, and I'm happy with it. If the fight goes the distance and either guy wins by decision, I'm happy with it. I do not see Brad Tavares finishing Gerald Meerschaert, even though he has taken punches bad at times. I do not see it happening. I think if anything, he wins a point fight decision on the outside, trying to keep away from the takedowns, being very, very safe, staying off the cage, circling out for 3 rounds. If he gets caught, it's going to be by submission, and that is how you play it. +400, Gerald Meerschaert by submission, and then the fight goes the distance at minus maybe 160, wherever the hell it is right now. If you got the bankroll and you do it right and you bankroll manage properly, you win on this one. Lastly, we're going to go into round number 3 right away. I'm going to attack a fight the same way I've attacked a bunch of fights because there's way too much value on somebody who is an absolute monster and a KO artist, and his win condition is KO a lot of the time, and or like a decision where he's pretty much landed really big shots, and or even some of his shots that miss end up scoring for the judges because judges sort of see it, glance off and whatever else, but there's so much behind it. He stepped into it. So there's some value here, and I just follow me on this one. We have Josh Emmett coming in at 19-4-0, Lerone Murphy 15-0-1, and a lot of people obviously looking at Lerone Murphy, and they're looking at, the line's a little bit wide right now, but they're looking at Lerone Murphy by decision likely. Same situation where he's going to want to stay away, the same way that we had, trying to stay away from Meerschaert. We're now going to try to stay away from the Emmett KO, same way what I was talking about in the last fight. So now we have Lerone Murphy, who could win by decision, likely stays on the outside, and this is what everybody's betting. This is what a lot of people are betting. They're betting pretty heavily. But Josh Emmett by KO has pretty damn good value. I don't know what your book's saying right now, but I got it at +500. You may be able to get it at +440, or maybe the line's been sort of beat up a little bit, but it's just sort of ridiculous to me. That's his win condition in most cases, but he could win a decision too. So you know what I'm going to do? Lerone Murphy likely wins a decision. And although everybody thinks that he could get him out of there, Ilia Topuria is Ilia Topuria, and he couldn't get him out of there, although it did look rough. It doesn't matter. It didn't happen. So let's take a look. We got fight to go the distance. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Let's do a fight to go the distance as a play. It's sitting in and around the -1. It's not live for me right now, but that's going to be the play for me. It's going to sit in a marker that I'm healthy with. Anything under -190, fight to go the distance, I'll hit it because that covers both angles for both guys. And then I've already hit Josh Emmett by KO at +500. Just too much value. two ways to attack. Some people would not agree with this and attacking a fight both ways, and you're sort of hedging out your bets. But when you give me so much value and the line is so wide on guys with win conditions that have done it many times before, especially with Gerald Mearshart, yeah, man. Although Joe Anderson Brito was sort of in round one, I really feel strongly about Gerald Mearshart as well too. I feel strongly about Josh Emmett's KO value as well too. If he touches him, we don't know how Lerrone's going to respond to that, man. And although Lerrone is a very tactful striker and had never been knocked out before, I don't know. I just think that there's so much value in Emmett by KO. I think there's a level check at this point as well too. I just think that there's value in these lines. You guys can agree in the comments. Let me know. Bankroll this properly. You know, the big props are sprinkles. You know, the fight goes the distance. Those are the ones that you want to hit a little bit more. Obviously, I'm leaving some stuff on the table there because some of these guys I'm saying that won't get finished by their opponents could. Lerone Murphy could get him and catch him in some way or another, but I don't think so. I think if Lerone wins, it's likely by decision. Josh could win by decision, potentially, but if he does win, it's likely at plus 500 KO. For me, no brainer. We got some value props. You know, the prop report today, pretty nice and simple. I was going with Kennedy and Joe Anderson Brito as the, you know, two-legger for my parlay. But, you know, Don't Tap podcast. I think we got 3 really good spots. I sort of jumbled through this, guys. Apologies. Wanted to get this out here for you. A lot of stats to go to back things up, and I'm trying to get things a little bit more, you know, be a little bit more eloquent with it and get it out there and articulate more for you guys. So the data is there for you so you can see what's going on. But I'm telling you right now, there is value on this Emmett KO. So be wary because, yeah, one of those got to hit. One of those bets with very good value have to hit. I just got to have. Anyways, boys, you guys have a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, Don't Tap podcast. That's it. Let's go. It's time.
Don't Tap podcast.
Don't tap
Podcast.
You do the process, the tape, the study, the narrative, the script.
A little bit of a downfall from a champ.
When we're looking at value on the lines,
That definitely, I think, in some of the handicappers I talked to, has influenced the gambling line.
Appreciate that. I'm sorry what I'm gonna have to do to you in this little matchup we got.
Thank
going
you.
on, but-
I was gonna say, okay, enough niceties. Let's dig in.
He can pressure in the first, he can pressure in the second, and pressure in the third.
I'm Gentleman Josh Hill. I'm Aaron Jeffrey.
I got you.
I'm Mike Malott.
I'm rocking on stop.
Tune in to Don't Tap.
Don't tap.
Don't Tap podcast.
Don't tap.
Podcast.
Follow me on Twitter.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.